must succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am on a battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Soon be there.
Cross the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got to lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Did you enjoy that little bit of real Doctor Who? Well, forget that. We have to be talking about that. Like, fuck me. Oh, fuck. Man, that was so boring. A boring bottle episode in an 8-episode season. They touted about how much money they had. It was boring. It was. We're gonna try and work out if that was the most boring episode of Doctor Who ever. I mean, first I'll compare it to any Jodie episode. But for me, that was boring. It's going to be quick to review. Oh, and it didn't make any sense. Sorry, I've got that little gem. Right, it was boring and didn't make any sense. Millie Gibson was good, but extended to the absolute maximum of her range in this. And quite a bit beyond. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, she's not a bad actress at all. I think she's the best thing about this production, hands down. But it was like, I mean, he was playing a 40-year-old, and it was like, no, she's not. She looked like 20. I mean, like, maybe put some makeup. I didn't realize she was supposed to be playing 40. I'm like, I mean, maybe I was distracted by, like, you know, Specky Millie is also kind of hot. I would tell you. Maybe that's distracted me. But I didn't realize she was supposed to be 40. I'm like, well, okay then. And I was like a little jab at the evil Tories, whatever. I mean, not really. Muted down. I get the feeling they muted this a lot in, but maybe they're trying to do damage control. That could be. Look, listen. You're getting my live reaction, right? My live first-hand reaction. That's a real fair idea. They might try to do damage control and limit the overt anti-Tory messaging. Maybe because it got it was boring, and it didn't have any titles. For no, like, because Doctor Who wasn't in it. I mean, that was the only thing going for it. Doctor Who wasn't in it. I mean, that really was. That did, and when he was, it was like, fuck off. Will you stop your grinning, you weirdo? Oh God, you know, you look like you want to invite a bunch of kids into your van to see your puppies. Okay, just stop it. Okay, I like, hey, Daddy, can I go to the magic box with that man? No, get the fuck away from him. See, I wouldn't say that about Tom Baker. My first thought wouldn't be that, you know, Patrick Troughton's going to give him a blowy in the TARDIS, right? You? Get the fuck away, kids. You know, it's like, don't leave him alone with Doctor Who. Wouldn't it be funny? If you know, shooting up dressed as Doctor Who turns up at your house for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, Tom Baker would do this in costume, and he's in a room with your kid, and you want to just go and get your wife, and like, but you don't want to leave the kid alone, you know. But for some reason you do. I'm making this up as I go along, right? But for some reason you do. Some reason you leave the room, right? And he come back, and the kid's sitting on his lap, and he's literally grooming them. If I was a billionaire, I'll make that happen. And that was much more into that gang, that sketch that didn't happen. I just painted it for you, right? Was so much more exciting than the episode. So good news. If you suffer from insomnia, Doctor Who may have a cure for you. Right? You might be doing good. This is an episode of receiving claims. And let's just watch it, okay? I just watched it. Oh. And again, a bottle episode. A cheap bottle episode without Doctor Who in it. In an 8-episode season. Are you taking the piss at this point? Right? Yeah, I remind myself of the famous joke about, the two Jews at the deli, right? And one goes, "Hey, oi, this deli, it sucks, right? It sucks." I'm putting a bit of an accent. The soup is watery. It's not very chickeny. The matzo balls are too soft unless they're too hard. The chicken is cold. Pah! And the Jew sitting next to him goes, "Yes, and such small portions too." Very true. Okay, that's what Jewish life is like, baby. If that appeals to you, you could be Jewish. I've often said, right, and this is remains true. The primary difference between Jews and Gentiles is if you say to a Gentile, right, and this is more interesting than Doctor Who. We'll get back to it soon. I'm sorry. If you say to a Gentile, "Your wife looks like a whore," right? He's gonna smash you in the face, right? Can you imagine? I'll be dead, right? You say it to a Jew, he said, "Your wife looks like a whore." You go, "Really? You think so?" "I'm doing good for myself, mate." Right? Anyway, we're going to talk about Doctor Who. Fuck! It was so boring. Okay, it's on a very interesting night of the year. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is Lag BaOmer. Oh, yes. You feel it. It's one of the most spiritual days of the year. Weird. It wasn't a big deal when I was young, when I first became religious in the 90s. It was a thing. Right? So this guy, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, right? Somebody talks shit about him to the Romans, and he ends up having to hide in a cave for like years, right? It's like him and his son. And they only had one pair of clothes, apparently. So what they would do is, this is the story. I didn't make any of this up, okay? It's so weird. It's going to zap me, right? I believe this guy. He's like, yeah. So they dug ditches for themselves to stand in and fill up to their neck so they wouldn't have to wear their clothes except for on Sabbath, right? And then and they studied the Torah, the intricacies of the universe, through theological understanding all day long, right? All day long. And when they reached, Kabbalistically inducing this episode of Doctor Who, they fell asleep, right? It was so fucking boring. Oh, sorry, I digress. Sometimes things will shock you at how dull they are, right? It really is. I'm kind of reminded of a Sixth Doctor Who magazine comic strip, right? Where somebody walks past the Doctor, drawn by John Ridgway. And they're so boring, they can't be bothered to look up the Doctor coming in or something like that, right? That's how boring this episode was. Oh, a bottle episode. Okay, whatever. Glad you had time for the Bridgerton one, though. Oh, and the Asian Beatles one. Fuck yeah. That's how I feel about the season. Fuck you. Again, this is why this stream is my live unvarnished opinion. But really, Russell, but fuck you, okay? Fuck you, okay? No, I don't wish you harm in any way, shape, or form, but fuck me. Have you screwed the pooch on this one? Holy crap! Like, how do you fuck up so bad? I'm not just talking about tonight's episode, which was like, all right, I'm talking about this whole disaster. How the... I mean, it's like you shit yourself, literally, in the middle of Sainsbury's. And then instead of, like, going and getting changed, you just kept shitting yourself. Davros. A transit. Let's have the doctor introduce... Not heroically running across building. The best part... Judy Gatwa's best moment as Doctor Who was running across the rooftops in the church on Ruby Road. That totally sold the Doctor to me. I love it. It was the Doctor. It was I like that, right? I mean, I didn't notice him speaking like a. I didn't notice his speech being weak because he was running across a rooftop, so it all worked, right? That was his best moment as Doctor Who. But man, they destroyed the show, right? They destroyed this era by inserting the gay dance number. And look, this is not me going, ha ha. No, this is an analysis of why you're experiencing a ratings collapse, right? Which is what they're experiencing, right? Essentially that scene, which was inserted in by Disney, right? The Doctor was originally meant to be introduced, running across those rooftops. Would have been fucking awesome, right? But no, let's put him in a gay dance number at the beginning, right? And again, I'm not about me. The normies were turned off by that. They're like, oh, fuck off. That's exactly what happened. Okay? They were, oh, fuck off. And they did. They gave you a chance on Christmas, right? You got good ratings. 7.5, right? Very decent, very respectable. And it was, I think shenanigans with that number, it was so high, frankly. But whatever. Right, whatever. It was a decent rating, and so people gave you a chance, and they said "fuck the bye-bye." Right, and I think basically because of that one scene. Anyway, we're going in tangents, ladies and gentlemen. That has been known to happen on this channel. That has been known. I warn you now. You might experience a tangent tonight. Anyway, no extra cost, baby. Be tangent you a long time. Anyway, I digress. Tonight's Lug Roma, as I was saying. Okay, let me go back to that. Lug Roma, right? This rabbi had to go and hide in a cave for years, like 7 years, like living in a ditch. So then God blessed him. You know how God blessed him? By giving him a carob tree. Unless I'm getting mixed up with somebody else, I think it was that Isaiah. And no, I think he got the carob tree, right? Oh, have you ever had carob? Ugh. Not good. I mean, I only had it dry, but and he was grateful for that. I'm like, dude, what about some Mickey D's? Right? Come on. The good Lord, you control all time and space. Let's get some KFC, baby. Your boy Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai once. Oh no, he's Jewish. I was going to say this is pre-Judaism. Fine. Stop at Mendy's. Get the corned beef sandwich. Yeah. Not fucking carob tree. Anyway, you like the carob tree. But the point is this, right? He emerged on this day, right? And he was so holy from the cave, right? When birds flew overhead, they would burn up, right? And when he looked at things, they would burn up from his holiness, right? So he went back in the cave for another year and became even holier, so he could look at people without setting them on fire. And then that actually was a great step forward in his social life, frankly, right? A significant. Anyway, so it's commemorated by bonfires, but apparently they're going to be tomorrow night when it comes out Saturday night. They move it to Sunday night because they don't want people breaking Sabbath because what happens is all the kids make bonfires, right? And everybody roasts marshmallows. It's very nice, right? It's very, very nice. Everybody likes a bit of bonfire stuff. So they're pushing off till tomorrow night. But it's I look at things much more spiritually, right? So we're in this period of days called the Omer, and like Stargate, right? You got this, and I never liked Stargate. I'm sorry. They got the Simrons going, and it's like decodes the message, the location, right? You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean, right? Did you do? That's a funny thing. You all do know what I mean. That that fucking thing of Stargate, right? Anyway, so this spirit cycle, spirit Omer, there's 2 different energies. There's 7 energies, right? And you get 2 of them a day, 1 major, 1 minor. And if you understood any of that was, right, that's really Kabbalistic shit, right? You can understand what the spiritual potential of the day is, right? That spiritual potential would allow, this explosion of holiness into the world. So Lugburn was a very special day. Moving it to the next day, bit stupid in my opinion, but yeah, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Anyway, here's what I can tell you. Doctor Who was boring. Now I want to discuss Disparu's take on what's the name? Boom, right? Which I found really interesting, right? So we're going to be talking about that. Because do you know what? By the way, can I just throw my unequivocal support behind Dan? I haven't asked him if he liked this episode or not. I assume he did, right? My unequivocal support behind him enjoying it. He's getting so much shit, right? He gets so much shit for it on his channel. I'm like, it's not like, I don't know, you're raping a nun. You're just like Dr. fucking Who. What's that? I don't know. What can I say? Why does he like? I don't know. God bless him. I don't know. We all like witch talk. But can I just unequivocally support him in liking it, right? Because what can I tell you? Look, they killed it with Jodie. Stop crying over the fucking corpse. I know we all thought it was going to come back to life. We all thought it was. We're all sad, okay? Now the best you can hope for this fucking travesty ends quickly, right? And they'll try again, and maybe they'll get their heads out their asses. Maybe they'll have to. We thought they had to this time. It's people are talking about. Oh yeah, I bet somebody had to talk with Russell about the races. No, they didn't. They're like, oh, everything's fine, baby. We got the message going. Not that there's any message there, but if there is, it's done well, right? What's tonight's episode? Woke. I don't know if you woke me up. I'm like, oh no, fucking hell! It's an episode designed to make you not woke, ergo asleep. Man. But yeah, I want to talk about Disparu's take on Boom, which okay. So here's why I really liked it, right? So a Jewy thing that we do, right, is do a drasha, right? A drasha is when you take disparate parts of Jewish wisdom and you put them together seamlessly into a single narrative. And the more lumdish, the more clever you are at doing it, the more merit. It's the way Jews show off. It's a dick measuring contest for Jews, right? Don't you drasha, right? Now, and all that, they're fun. I like drashas. I do drasha. I do drashas, darling. Although my drashas are like, oh yeah, the world's gonna fucking end. You fucking Shagets morons, right? Yeah, that's what my by the way, Shagets is the masculine version of Shiksa. just in case anybody wasn't entirely sure. Where are we up to? 1 second. Now I lost my place. There you go. I was talking about Shakers. And the drashes. Oh, right. There you go. Disbrew. There you go. I'll get back to it. So Disbrew. He had a very clever take on what Boom was saying, and it fits seamlessly into what we saw on screen. And it would make it a far more intelligently written script, right? Very now, is that right or not, or is he reading into it? It's a drasha, right? It's a very clever take, right? So I do want to talk about that, right? But let's get to the chat. By the way, I saw a beautiful piece of Blake Seven art. Okay, so for me, the evening is gone, right? Sabbath ended like about 8:20 my time, right? I'm two hours ahead of you. So that's 6:20 my time, right? 1 second. Doink. I hope this is true. I'm not sure it is, but I hope it is. Yeah, we'll get to that shortly. What was I going to say? Well, I thought myself behind. Oh yeah, why does Dan like it? I think Dan's much more optimistic and he less sensitive to the potential for wokeness, right? Like, look. Dan's a very decent human being, right? He's like your normal, agnostic, decent guy. He's not. I mean, not religious. Maybe I don't know where he is in life, right? I really no idea, right? But he's like your normal decent guy. So somebody. So I think me as like a religious fundamental nut. I'm probably more sensitive to what I perceive as wokeness, but also, I think I'm right. But he's entitled to his view, right? So that's why I do like. He takes a much more measured approach. I like the way he's doing the ratings more slowly and more methodically and intelligently. And boy, are they bad! Man, the ratings are so bad. Anyway. So yeah, saying that we want to go with Disparu, Lugbarome. I talked about that. We gave a basic overview of the episode. I think we're doing good, right? I think we're good. I think we should get to the chat, right? At that point. By the way, I am loving fan upscales. Oh my god. Okay, so I discovered fan upscales for Doctor Who. Oh my god. Awesome. Oh, especially the McGann Telly movie, because the McGann Telly movie you really can't watch on a big screen, right? Like now you watch it on HD. Oh, it's basically free, $3 a month for it to be a part of this guy's Patreon. Totally worth it. The work he does is he just put up Legopolis. Oh, love the work he does. Now, oftentimes he goes with new effects, which I prefer. Look, I think Shock is better for the new effects, right? So it depends what your sensibilities are. I, generally speaking, prefer new effects, right? Yeah. So anyway, I was going to say. So now I discovered Next Generation upscaled, like digitally upscaled to I'm not sure 1080 maybe or 4K. Might even be 720. I don't know, but at least you can watch it on a big screen at last. I love Deep Space Nine. Oh, Deep Space Nine, yeah, it's all kinds of awesome. You know what's not all kind of awesome? Dr. fucking Listen, his series has got squelched by Rusty Davies' one, but Dr. Alex has got real Doctor Who going on his channel. It's really good. Okay, it's really you've got. If you haven't heard season 12, go check it out. The first episode that got me hooked. Right, that genuinely got me hooked. Great writing. Great performance of it, quite frankly. And then, oh man. So, just going on the Dr. Alex tangent for a second, because it's worth it. Because Dr. Alex is good, and this is shit. And I beg of you, go over to his channel. He's written several books, and you can get them on Audible, right? Now, my favorite one is having Peter Capaldi read it via AI, right? Doing AI. That's awesome. Because it's like a Peter Capaldi doctor, right? It's great, and it feels so thin, but it also feels very unique unto itself. So he's got season 12 he did. Then season 13, it was one unified story. It was kind of like, do you remember Nemesis the Warlock when Brian Talbot took over it, right? And it was, people were like, what the fuck? But some of you out there do, right? And it was it was the first time I really saw steampunk, right? So the Doctor's in this like steampunk 1930s universe, right? And it's really cool on a like an Indiana Jones style quest, and it really worked with Capaldi, Doctor, Romana, and K9, and it really works, right? It's so much fun, and it's one all connected tale. I start with season 12 because it's really good, right? And it's like if you're not hooked on the first episode. Fair enough, right? I was. And you go and support him, buy his book. He has it on. You can buy it on text. You can write it on audio book. Yeah, just go buy his stuff. It's really good. That's real Doctor Who. This is Not real Doctor. I mean, it's because he wasn't even in it tonight. Fuck me. By the way, I do hope you like my use of AI to generate a Russell Davis wearing roughly the same outfit. Like, yeah, self-insert. Are you a self-insert into shooting out with Russell Davis? Yes, I do insert myself into him whenever I want. I got that feeling. That was true. Anyway, by the way, I was really happy with the winner of Survivor. What was her name? I can't remember her name. Not Liz, she was weird. Not Ben, how do you get to the final three? Not Adam. Now I've got to look it up. Okay, no. Survivor. Kenzie, there you go. I really liked it. I'm really glad you won. So if you watch Survivor, as I do, I'm very happy. You notice how I enjoy talking about anything other than Doctor Who. Anyway, good news. This is like a shooting light episode. It is. Bad news is written by me and full of bonkers infantile plot. Not really, just boredom. Really, that's why, because didn't have that in it. It was just boring. Is that at ratings all the way down there? Yes, it is. And it made no sense either. Oh, I don't know what I find more annoying. I find it all annoying. Frankly, it's like buying a box set from Big Finish called Dalek Universe and the Daleks aren't actually in it. Really? You don't think you should put Daleks in? No, we want to keep you guessing. Oh, fuck you, Big Finish. Where are we up to? Fine, let's get to the chat. Conor Medlin, how you doing, Conor Medlin? That thumbnail, thank you very much. It was an all right episode, maybe 6 out of 10. Not feeling the era in general. Like, look, for me, I wanted to start imagining it as a like one of those Christmas time horror stories, right? That's how it really started to play out. And it didn't really work as that either, right? It just look, I'll get to the review, but it just kind of failed, right? It just kind of failed. Next week looks like Fallout meets Barbie. Pretty sure Dot and Bubble is a play on Ken and Barbie. Oh, probably. Gives vibes of the McCoy era and Macroterra. Macroterra is not camp. Macroterra is really dark. I love the Macroterra. Especially the Blu-ray of it. I think the animation is excellent. Kensington says, I truly don't understand the acclaim. How's it getting acclaim? Why? Because again, was it the Insomniacs proclaim it? This evidence receiving. I appreciate the tone a bit, but it falls completely apart with the slightest screw. I know. Don't use your brain. It plays like a first draft and makes 0 sense. It 100%. That's everything you said is true. And a Doctor Light episode when you got 8 episodes. Yeah, like what the again? What the love you got? It's exactly. Even the Debbie politics that are so important are barely thought and here. I think it just got edited the fuck out of it, because that would make more sense. They just made a boring, pointless episode. I think there's a lot more politics in it, and I think they edited it out, which is somebody just got boredom. Frankly, this feels like the B plot, right? Doesn't it? Does this whole thing feel like the B plot? And again, it sets up questions and never answers them. Anyway, we'll do a reviews. Okay, let me do the chat first. Lonnie is here doing Lonnie, as is Darren M. Matthew Pounder, 73 yawns. Yes, that's very fair. Recovering from an all-nighter when I remembered to do a bite shift left. I have no idea what that means, but okay, it sounds like you're working in a severance, right? Paul Dyson says it's definitely the best episode since Capaldi left. That's really good. Shoot, I say nurse. I'll be shooting Gatwa or nurse what? Oh yeah, nurse what? Sorry, wasn't the most. Yeah, no, that definitely helped it. The lack of shooting definitely helped it. Matthew Pounder is here doing it. Don Lewis says, I don't know how you. I know you had to watch this unholy show in order to review it, but good Zark in grief. That must have been, but it was boring. No, I've said it. Jodie Whittaker's episodes, generally speaking, were more painful, right? Yeah, Jodie Whittaker's episodes, generally speaking, were way more painful, right? This one was just boring. Honestly, right? And again, they fucked themselves. It was over before they started with the gay dance scene. That's where the norm is turned off. I mean, it really is, and they had no idea. But that is, I mean, they know very well now when they turn off because they have the data about when people turn off the episode, right? Look, Russell has epically screwed the pooch on this, right? This is going to go down. He's going to get the Razzie of the Razzies, right? When everybody's got over this weird shit, which they're imminently about to get over, the woke shit, right? And it's okay to tell the truth. They're going to say, "Oh fuck me, did Russell screw the pooch on Doctor Who?" Like really, everything he did is wrong, right? Like literally every creative decision he made is wrong. How do you fuck up this much? It's incredible. I mean, it really is. He fucked up. It's worse than Chibnall because he used to have talent. Anyway. Apparently, this is the first thing she filmed. Dr. Alex says, Dr. Alex, there you go, a real Doctor Who. According to Doctor Who is dead. No, Doctor Who is alive while you write it, sir, right? While we create it, it's alive. And God, I'll be happy to go back to the world. Here, I was reading over Sabbath. One second. The Complete Sixth Doctor, right? This is from 2003, before they announced a return. And you just see how much stuff there was going on, right? It was a much better time. I'm sorry. Doctor Who was good. Doctor Who was ongoing with Big Finish. It was a very good time. I'll find some more ads. I mean, there you go. There's all this good shit going on, right? Now, Snoozeville. I saw Big Finisher putting out a thing. You can buy like a year's worth of their stuff. I'm like, no. The last thing is happening. You'll get my money up front, cunt. I want to see the covers first nowadays. Ethan Buckham is here. When Doctor who was played by Tom Baker, the grinning was a good thing. He was giving away jelly babies, and and he didn't think he was suffering arrogant. No, he put himself on the children's levels. Judy Gartner is more like having glee at being able to talk to children. It's very different, very creepy. It was a better PD Richard. It was a better episode. But dull. The death is exactly that. A total lack of it. Yeah. This is heading to Star Trek territory. Absolutely, right? And I hear the woke go, Star Trek, that's still doing very well. Really? It's having the season finale, I think, this week, next week, and nobody gives a shit. Literally no one gives a shit about Discovery. No one's watching it. No one's talking about it. I stopped covering it because no one's interested. It's like, who gives a shit? I mean, that's where people are like, what? Like, why? Bobby D says, Noel didn't mind the episode. I mean, again, it wasn't like, it was just boring. It didn't say or do anything, really, and it didn't make any sense. Children of Stone did folk horror better. This was underdeveloped, right? Peter says Moffat tried, Russell trying to do Moffat. No, it's too simplistic to be like Moffat, right? Kirsty is here, said, Millie did a decent job, but not worth the hype. Still like, eh. I think she's been the best thing so far. By far, right? I think she's been the best thing so far. But I think this was beyond her range. Genuinely, I think this was a bit beyond her range, right? I think rather unfairly, frankly. Dan's here. How you doing? I wonder, Dan, let me know what you think. I'm always intrigued to see Dan's take. Audio starters, audio starters. I wanted Darth Thomas to show up in the. I wanted Davis Thomas. Who's Davis? He's what, the only gay in the village? Poe here. Where is this? Dunk. I'm not sure what this is. So people were saying this is a complete Blake 7 Blu-ray release cover, maybe. I don't know. I did, but isn't that gorgeous? That's way more interesting than Doctor Who. I really like this piece, right? It's a really well-considered piece. I think it gives weight to it, puts Blake in the center, but Avon is kind of has equal weight to him. I like Scorpio and Liberator, right? Yeah, no, I think it all looks. I think I like it touching it on every era of Doctor Who. I like Servalan is central as well because I think she is. And I think there's a great take on Jacqueline Pierce. And I generally think the design is excellent, right? I love the Aurak in the background. Slave there, Zen. I mean, it's all great, right? Scorpio doesn't get enough respect. I like Scorpio, right? I like Slave a lot, right? That was a good era of that was a good season. I would have liked there to be more, frankly. There we go. Hey, back to Doctor Who. Who cares? Dr. Russell is here. Russell would probably get off on walking around Sainsbury's with a huge load in his pants. Well, he's into strange things nowadays, right? I mean, God bless him. You do you, darling. Nellie Watkins is here. How you doing? I know that I was saying right-wing bad, but it wasn't. I really think this was re-edited, right? Oh my God. Dan said he just recovered from a 3.5-hour live stream. Oh, that was on Thursday. That was good, by the way. In time for Doctor Who today. Looking for the Rabbi's take whilst I did. Well, I hope you chill. No more Happy Meals. That back ones are only crappy meals. Well, you know that's inflation for you, or shrinkflation. Colin Archer is here. Doing Colin Archer. What's it done? I'm sorry. I really don't. I'm sorry. I've tried to like it so many times. I didn't even like the gritty one they said with what's his name? The one they always said they wanted to be Doctor Who during the 90s. The James Bond villain. Whatever it is. That one. Stargate Universe, maybe? I don't know. Well, it's trying to be Battlestar Galactica, but just, who cares? Right, who cares? Oh, my throat is throbbing. I wonder what. I hope not getting sick. Can you replay that Gen Z kid TikTok song? I'm still coming. Okay. That seems like a reasonable tangent, right? That does seem like here it is. I think the world is better for this.
America, you've made a big mistake. You think you can take away our app? Well, we are the most powerful generation that there ever was. We are Generation Z. We won't let TikTok fall. We will rise above it all. We will save TikTok.
I don't know what to tell you. Okay, kid. This is who they want as the viewer. This is who they're chasing, right? You can't make it dumb enough for these shits, right? Are you out? You might hear.
Time's running out. Can you hear the clock? Joe Biden, we are ready for war. You want us so bad, and now you want more. Who's with me?
Literally no one is with you, okay? Nobody wants to be anywhere near you, darling, okay? And that was more entertaining than 73 yards. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, Problem B, for bringing that up. You are a wise commentator as always, sir. Liam Nelson's chin is there. Liam Nelson's chin. If being on this earth for 58 years has taught me anything, that people who are easily impressed somehow by some jangling keys in front of them. 70 years had elements, but ended up as it just all fell apart. I was again, about 10 minutes in, I was hoping it was going to be like one of those Christmas horrors, right? And look, here's the thing. You need to have some kind of resolution to the proposed horror, right? And this one just made no sense. I don't know. But mainly it was boring, right? I was really bored. No, I wasn't. I mean, the first 10, 15 minutes, I was intrigued, but then it started going nowhere, right? And it set up the thing. Okay, when they had the third, it was by the time that she came back home, it was about halfway through. I should really do the review first, right? But about halfway through, I was like, this is stupid, right? This is like when she made her mother run away. Anyway, we'll get to it soon. Dan liked it. Couldn't take it off. Ideal criticism. Next to nothing is perfect. Well, this is next to nothing because I was really unimpressed. Right? One of the fans review earlier. What a waste of time. Completely pointless story. That with a complete a nonsensical paradox. That was. I feel realized poorly. What about Delta and the Badman? Well, dude, I would much rather watch that. And I hate that, right? I do it, but Delta and Badman wasn't boring. This was really dull, right? Again, my working theory, if you're just coming in, my working theory about this episode is that it was a lot more political and it had been re-edited to take a lot of the wokeness down because the results have been disastrous. Right, I think that absence left it was without the spine of a story. This felt like the B story, right? And it wasn't resolved in a satisfactory manner. But look, the setup I thought was good. But you know, did have trashings? Sadly not. Right, so a few trashings would have made this a lot better. Right. He's not getting grief. So technically, or he's not getting problem. Fine. There we go. Who we're up to? Cursing hello to you. Delta made me laugh out loud in a good way. Yeah, Seth McCoy's performance is very sweet, by the way. Right, it's very sweet with him hanging around the Ray in the club and like dancing. Like I kind of like that Doctor just having a fun time, and I like Ken Dodd in it. A lot of people hate Ken Dodd. I think Brian Henson's good. I just think, man, the bad bits are bad. You have to CGI out Delta and the baby, right? And replace them with something that's not cringe-inducing and edit into a 45-minute episode. Fascinating Doctor Who better than people. Well, again, I keep saying Dr. Alex, right? Can't enjoy it enough. Is Dr. Badden looking for marbly sandwiches? He's not even doing that. He's more like Tigger. He comes like bounding in, and he's like that smart. Oh, he's not a clever guy. Do you have a rough guide to words per minute for audio writing? No, I don't. I have no idea. Well, I've done a lot of it, so I really know. Lord Thoth is there. How you doing, Lord Thoth? Sorry, I missed you there. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Who's he got? Now whizzing through the trap. See, anybody new money? Tzvi Lebetkin. Star Trek Ever is a new archetype. The new Star Trek is based on Dr. Gay. Well, of course, yes. I don't know. I get the feeling Doctor Who and Star Trek are so incredibly gay. They want to turn gay people straight, right? So suddenly they become like regionally heterosexual after this era of super gay representation. They're like, no, okay, I know the whole vagina thing didn't really work out before, but I think it's time to revisit, right? Like I can't be part. I wonder if it's like, the great conversion theory, conversion treatment. I don't know. Anyway. Oh God, they're so gay. They're so mincing gay. Oh, do you remember on EastEnders when gay people used to be normal? Oh, what was that? Not Barry, the one after it. Barry and what's his name? The architect, and then you had Christian. I think there's somebody in between. Saeed, of course, was the prettiest closeted homosexual in Albert Square, in my opinion, that I've seen. Right, Rev, you get all the opinions there. Rev Raven over here. I did my review on the train on the train wreck, Rabbi. Would you agree that having unit able to time travel or rather track down Ruby was about? There's some. My brain hasn't got this out of the plot hole yet. Okay, I have to work it out. Again, I've just seen it, right? Sabbath ended at 8:18, so I prayed the afternoon, the evening prayer, evening service. Finished by about 25 past. Then we had to think. Then I went and had a bit of a poo, and got my phone and started looking at stuff. And then we have by 8:35, that's 6:35 your time. We did a small service called Havdalah, which takes Sabbath out. It's a wine and a candle, the whole thing. Anyway, and then by about 1:45, I was downstairs watching Doctor Who. Having a Disney Plus is very convenient, right? It's very convenient having the 4K. Looks gorgeous, right? But I can't really give it much more of a recommendation than that. David Mullins here. This is aimed at kids. There's no hooks there for them to be attractive. Well, here's the thing. It's bouncing very unevenly in the season. You got the silly kiddie one with space babies, then you got insane, weird, scary Cap. And then I don't know how even to describe Devil's Cord. It's silly shit, and then adult and creepy, right? It's got it's like no, it's all over the place, right? I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, it is all over the place. Find Darren. I was hello to you. Liminus Chin is here. I think hello to you, but I will say again, he will find you and he will kill you. I have to give props to the pub scene. That's it. I like to say, yeah, up until that point, it was okay, right? I was doing it. Surely, Tzvi Lebetkin, because we were like that. I did, but okay, let me get the episode, right? Right. I'm nearly up. I caught up with that. Clobbering time is here. How you doing, Clobbering time? Thanks for joining us. Avon lives, he says. Man, what would you rather, a sequel series to Blake 7 or a reboot? I think I would write a reboot. Yeah, I would really like. Okay, ultimate casting is Mads Mikkelsen as Avon. What's his name? Oh, he was in. What is his name? He was in Being Human. He was a replacement in Being Human, and he didn't have a really good superpower. Rudy, and he was in This Is England, and fine, I'm looking his name up. It's annoying me now. This Is England. Where is it? Stars, images. This is England. Oh, man, 1 second. This is England, stars. There we go. Not Stephen Graham, although who was Stephen Graham? Stephen's Gann. Okay, Stephen Graham as Gann, 100%. Joseph Gilgan as Villa. We thought of that. Stephen Gilgan as Gann. I like that. Means Joseph Gilgan as Villa, Stephen Graham as Gann. That's a really good Gann. That's a really, really good Gann. Right? Servland's a hard one to do. Blake, you could do, what's his name? Christian Bell. I mean, Christian Bell seems like a very natural Blake. Right? But I do like Stephen Graham and Joseph Gilgan. That's a good combination. Servland is a really hard one, right? So I guess you'd do like Margot Robbie as a Jenna, or somebody like that. Millie Gibson as Jenna. Oh, you know actually who really will be a good Jenna? Karen Gillan. She can do the whole pirate thing very well, I think. Now I'm looking at the This Is England class. I'm thinking Vicky McClure would be perfect as Callie. That's a really interesting. She really would be, wouldn't she? She'll be great as Callie. Would you have Serverland is a tough one. Who has that like radiating dynamic power? But okay, that's a good cast. We have Matt Nicholson as Avon, Christian Bell Blake, Joseph Gilgun Villa, Stephen Graham Gann, Lily Gibson, Karen Gillan is Jenna, and Vicky McClure Callie, right? Still looking for a serve. Serverland's going to be hard. Man, Serverland's going to be really hard to think of. I mean, that's like a powerhouse performance. Anyway, much better talking about that than Doctor Who. Music Live, I really like the episode. Less Duty is a way forward. Sadly, it is. I agree with you. It really is. It just felt like this was a B story. 12th Doctor is still in the convention dial, living out all these events from Heaven Sent. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. I mean, so no Blake 7 reboot or sequel. I always wanted there to be an audio sequel, right? Because they didn't know what to do on Big Finish because everybody's dead, right? So you grab everybody still alive, all right? And this is basically the idea. You start off, it's 100 years later. So you move that world on, but still have it as grim, as meaningless, and horrible as things are there, right? And you have a parallel story where there's a prison ship and it finds the Liberator in space, and they go in, and you have like the new characters go in. I feel like that should be a female lead. I don't know. But they find some like cryo tubes in there, and out it becomes you have whoever's alive basically still. So it'll be Jenna and Callie and Villa and Tarrant. And like Brian Croucher as well. Throw him in. Oh, that'd be awesome. As what's his name? Is it Tarrant? No, not Tarrant. What's his name again? I can't remember. But I think and then have the sequel series there. That I always wanted. Clobberingheim strongly disagrees. No, he's not happy with my recasting, right? Where are we up to? How old an actress of Serverland? She's got to be, I would say, in her 30s or 40s, right? It's got to, yeah. Except no substitute. Sydney Sweeney as Sue Lin. Oh, Colin Archer's on the money there. Oh, Marina Bacate. Yes. Yeah, you know what? That V-series was a real audition for that. But did she have enough power? Probably. I'm just mesmerized by her beauty. I don't know. I can see why this series is failing. It isn't strong enough. Gatwa isn't convincing as a Doctor, not to me anyway. He was when I first saw him, right? And he doesn't know where its audience is. It's strange to watch. That's a very correct. Correct. I very much agree with that, right? It's strange to watch. It's not very good, but certainly strange. Peter Harrington is here. May also says Jodie Comer's servant. That's not bad. She has a strong, charismatic actress. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna hate this. You're all gonna hate this, but I think could really play a cunt. Was it not a cunt? Not just a cunt. Machiavellian evil cunt really well. You know who it could be? Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? If anybody knows how to play an evil Machiavellian cunt, I think she might have that might be within a range, okay, is what I'm trying to say. Mark Mills said, yeah, look at the V reboot. That really does work, right? So yeah, and also go for the Eva Green is so she's too soft. You got to have that you got to be turned on and terrified at the same time, right? They did an audio drama reboot many years ago. Then later, they brought the real crew back for audio as well. I mean, yeah, I have all the Big Finish ones. I have all the I did the magic bullet ones. That wasn't really Blake 7. There were elements of Blake 7 in it, right? But please let me know. Anyway, let's talk about this piece of shit. Okay, and yeah, is it okay? I'm saying it's a piece of shit because ultimately, when you add the pieces up, I think it was a piece of shit, right? I think it was a waste of resources, right? I really do. Phoebe on a bridge. Got an archer say, but you know I'm right. That's why you're horrified. Fine. So it opens up. Immediately I notice there's no title sequence, right? You see Millie gives his name on the screen. You see Judy Gapper's name on the screen. And it's like a cold opening, but there's no opening at all, right? And they jump out the TARDIS in the scene that we all seen a picture of, and the Doctor fucks up. Yeah, man, this Doctor is not. It's not that good. Let's be honest. Made a mistake again, and like it's okay that Doctors make mistakes. Like Face of Evil, one of the best stories ever, but like I haven't seen much of this Doctor being likable or not making a mistake. He's made a lot of mistakes. And again, you don't really have that much time. Colin Salmon one. Yeah, that one wasn't very good. Yeah, that was a reboot. That wasn't a sequel. Yeah, it was a reboot. Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about Blake 7. More interesting Doctor Who. Paul Shomron is here. How about doing a Doctor Who like they did it with Blake 7? Had Blake in the title. But it was well, that's what this episode was, right? This episode 100% is what this episode was. So the Doctor steps out the TARDIS. He's all bouncy like Tigger, which just annoys me at this point. He's like, oh, we're Wells. Oh, it's the best thing ever. And he stumbles onto this, like, I don't know, this Wicker Man, this, like, weird pagan circle of stuff. There's, like, string and, like, and notes there saying, rest in peace, or these creepy notes, right? And the camera pans around, and Miller's looking, the camera pans back, and Doctor Who's vanished, right? Right, well, Doctor Who vanished in 2017, but Shooty Cat was Doctor Queer has vanished, right? Boing, he's gone. Right, she's looking around. So right now, it feels like it's got a lot of good potential, right? It really does. I'm really excited about what it was doing. I didn't think it was very Doctor Who-y, but I thought it was really interesting. So then there's a old woman you can't really see properly, 70, like a distance away. It turns out it's 73 yards, right? And nobody, she can't talk to it. Every time she goes closer, it's always 73 yards away, right? And it's a weird, creepy woman, old woman, doing these like whatever, I don't know, the movements, right? So eventually she gets towards the town, right? She was in the middle of nowhere. She gets towards the town a few miles away, and she meets Susan Twist, who's obviously in this episode, and she's hiking, right? And she says, "Can you see that woman over there?" Right? So she says, "Yeah." Can you go and ask her what happened to my friend? Right? I can't get closer. What's going on? Right? So she goes over to her. And you see them talking in the distance, right? And they start looking at Millie, right, at Ruby, and they look back and they're like, and so everyone goes and runs away, right? So again, you got that good Christmas time horror vibe going, right? So that I thought was excellent, and then. So she finally makes it to the pub, and they reenact it was American Werewolf in London, and you don't really know what year it is. You said 2024, I think they mentioned it. Oh, they also mentioned there was a terrible prime minister from, I thought it said 2024, 26, but maybe I was wrong about that. And makes it to the pub, and Ruby Sunday, very, very flush with cash, weirdly enough. Right, she has a lot of money on her, right? Like, so she asks for a room and it says 65 a night. Says fine. Can I pay with my phone? I'm like, what do you mean? How do you pay with the phone? there's this weird thing. Are we in the 70s? What's going on? And there's of course, we're just winding her up. And then she talks about the fairy circle thing, and they start to freak out, the creepy denizens of the pub. Before that, there was a guy there who goes there and says, fine, I'm going now. I'll ask that woman what's going on, because she's always there. I'll ask that woman what's going on. And he does, and the same thing happens. They look at Ruby, and then they go, and they run away, right? Okay. And it's £65 a night and £5 for a Coke. That seems very expensive to me. Right? Is that normal? I don't know. Again, I think the politics got edited out this episode, which is why it's it kind of feels like there's nothing there. Anyway, so then you get the impression she stays there for a while, right? And she keeps going back to TARDIS every day. How is she affording this expensive stay in this little pub in the middle of nowhere? So eventually she goes back to London, right? All the time she goes, she sees the woman 73 yards away, right? Like she's on the train, she keeps seeing her outside the train, right? So again, right now, up until now, it's been relatively, it's going somewhere. It's like it's hooked me, right? So then she gets back home and meets her mum, right? And then the woman's still there at the end of the street. You have a quick nod to Anita Dobson, and her mother goes, "Okay, I'll go with my phone and talk to her so you can see what's happening." So her mother goes to talk to her, and she looks at Ruby and she runs. It's like, ah! She's terrified, right? Now, none of this has ever resolved. And she doesn't know why. So she eventually she comes back home and finds the locks have been changed. She's thrown out. Title sequence lost in a re-edit, said Ethan Burkheimer. Well, my version didn't have a title sequence. Let's see what one's on BitTorrent. I'll download it already. Let's have a look. Hang on. Easy TV. That's my BitTorrent of choice. I see Doctor Who. Doctor Who. I mean, I'll download the pirated version right now. Let's see if they have a man. It's not even on the top 10. It's so embarrassing. Bloody hell! Not even the top 10 on a torrent website. Jesus, it's really bad. I'm sorry. That's really bad. Star Trek's still in the top 10. What's this one? Space Babies. Oh. Man, nobody's put it up. That's crazy. I'm like somewhat amazed. Wow. Let me try another. That's really bizarre. Hang on. We'll go here. Wow, that's deeply unpopular. Not there either. Wow. Maybe no. Okay, all right, let me do one more search. 73 yards. Let's see if that comes up. Okay, fine. There is. Okay, fine. Smallest to largest. Let's find the right file. 73. Oh man. Okay, I'm just scrolling through porn. How can you have porn with 70? Okay, 1 second. Let's do recent first. Can I do a date range on this? Oh, we'll try that. Okay, Okay, the 1 gig sounds good. Fine, we'll download the 1 gig version. But it's weird because anyway, fine. Here, so I'm downloading it now. So I'm going to find out if there actually is a title thing, or it was just the international version. Again, I have no idea. Like I've literally just watched this. Find the right. Where's it? Open the app. Doink there. Oh, it's all go. My life's a living hell, ladies and gentlemen. Living hell, I tell you. Living hell. Well, okay. Now I just see where it's downloading to so I can find it again. Okay, got it. Off it goes. Very good. Fine. So anyway, what's going on? So she's at the she goes home. Her mother runs away, right? And she's locked out of her house. So then I feel it really falls apart, and like time goes by, and she keeps breaking up with people, and you're not sure how much time goes by, and it looks like she's still 20 something, right? The older she looks is 23, and it turns out she's like 40 something, and like lived an empty life because always had this woman 73 yards away staring at her, right? None of it ever made sense, right? I went for the 721, frankly, and it's. Yeah, I say, oh, it's definitely nice. It's 13 seconds away. Okay, fine. So then this politician pops up. Oh yeah. So there was I can't remember it. There was in the magic circle thing they broke. There was a name of some like weird godlike thing. I don't know what it was. Right? There was something. Some nameless entity or demon thing. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. But the intimation at the pub seen earlier was they'd released this evil spirit, right? So she lives her whole life, and then she sees this guy who's this right-wing politician, and she because he's got that name. It was the same name as the on the card in the magic circle thing. She knows they must be connected, so she starts volunteering for him, and you can tell it's a very right-wing Nigel Farage, Donald Trump type character, right? But you don't really see him say or do anything, right? They say, "Oh, I'm going to." Basically, his plan is he's going to become leave NATO so he can launch nuclear weapons. Okay. But it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Fine. So we're nearly done, thankfully, right? I'm just bored. I'm so bored. Like now, I'm like irritated. Like it can fucking happen. Like what's going on? Right? My brain cells are becoming very impressed by this. They really are. Oh, says Peter Rich. They really are. So then there's a girl who is volunteer. She becomes like the coat holder. So and she's supposed to be in her mid-40s, and she looks 23. They put glasses on her, and don't get me wrong, I like the preppy glasses look on her. But like she doesn't look like she was 40. Like, why can't you put old makeup on her? It was like, is this the $1 billion production you keep telling us about? Saw zero money on screen and not enough sense and ideas to keep me there, right? I really think they had all the politics edited out in a desperate attempt, right? Karen glasses, exactly. But that was so. Then eventually, he becomes prime minister, and she works out getting the woman who's 73 yards to be exactly 73 yards away from him. So this is after he becomes prime minister, and his big plan is to fire nuclear missiles. Right, Paul Jones, also watched more than that, way better. Yeah, absolutely way better. Anyway, and he talks to the mystery old woman, and she goes, and he runs away, right? And he resigns, and he's gone. Okay, so then Millie Gibson's gone, and it's 40 years later, and now she's in her 80s, played by another woman, right? And eventually she's, and there's always a woman 73 yards away, right? And eventually, this series is Russell Davies fan fiction, right? It genuinely is. Dr. Alex is a genuinely more authentic Doctor Who. Like genuinely more authentic. Let me see if I've got some of those links. He sent me some the other day. Where is it? Facebook's got this new thing about what's it called again? Where'd it go? I can't. Is this on the link? No. Oh, I thought the links where you get some, but like it really is. It's Russell Davies' fan fiction, right? In much the same way that Hannibal was Brian Fuller's fan fiction, right? It's fanfic, right? I think it's the only way to really get. It's just kind of it's an interesting thing to do if you're doing like something that doesn't really matter, right? Something that doesn't really. But you had 8 episodes. I'm just confused, right? I'm just confused. So so he runs away, and then so she starts getting older, and then she's in the hospital dying, and the old woman shows up, and she gets nearer and nearer and nearer, and then as she dies, she's the old woman, and it's like, well, okay, I guess. I mean, like, and the trying to send the message to herself: don't step, right? And so she stops the doctor stepping on the fairy circle thing, and everything's saved. Okay. And that whole it's like yesterday's Enterprise, right? But done way worse. When she lived a whole timeline and it's erased away, right? Okay. It was that was it. There's nothing else to it. I found it really stunningly dull, right? They never explained what the old woman said to anybody who made them run away. Well, that's really quite important, right? There's got to be like, if you're doing like H.P. Lovecraft, M.R. James story, right? There's kind of like a creeping dread that has some kind of resolution. This had no resolution. It was just like, well, why'd she go back in time? How's it? What? And it wasn't very good. I'm sorry. It tried to be good, but it really wasn't very good, right? Folklore episodes set out like years and years. Yes. Yeah, and I think I really think that my only explanation is they edited out the politics from this. Because otherwise you got a really nothing episode. Just bored me. Right? Genuinely bored me. Like what have been people saying online? Let's have a look. Hang on, we'll go over here. Doink. Doctor Who. Do I do any ratings? Nah, there would be new ratings yet, would there? Let's have a look. That's something worth looking into. Oh man. Let's see what it's doing in the Doctor Who TV poll. Shall we vote in that? That's like a good idea. I say Doctor screen, share screen. And so it had an episode, a chance to be a Wicker Man type episode. 3 poor. It's worse than below average. We're doing 3. Finish survey. Response submitted. I guess we'll find out. Where it was going. So let's do a Google search for Doctor Who and see what the news stories are. News. Relevance date. Rate the revival. That was a good one. 2011. That was good. Shooting at where exits Doctor Who. Matt Smith returns as this. What? No, that's an April Fool. That's a month ago. Are you kidding me? Sort by date. Recent. What? Why are we getting things from? What? Oh, that's why, because it's not. Try that again. That was annoying. Sort by date. Fine. 7. There we go. Like that was what? How did? Like 4 months ago. Doctor Who shooting at well, always worried about money as his pants haunts it. Doctor Who Millie Gibson on why Ruby has to be her own hero because nobody else is in it. Ruby's on this energy makes no sense. Okay, that's fine. Fuck me. And the Guardian. Let's look at the Guardian. Like if Screen Rat's taking a shit on it, God help us. Wow, let's look at the Guardian first. Yeah, no, go away. I'm not paying. All right. So Millie Gibson takes center stage as she lives out an entire life. I'm running a life that is packed with the supernatural, but without the Doctor. It's a Stone Cold classic until its final moment. The first half it's got a good setup. I won't fault it that at all. It's got a very good setup. After the Spencer last week's boom, we're going to talk about it in a minute. The new Doctor Who season cranked up on to full-on horror on 73 yards, with an episode destined to be remembered as one of the all-time great companion performances. Probably, but again, I just don't think she was really up for it. All right, it seems about the same level as acting that Janet Fielding did as the Mara. Okay, that's where you are. Where is it? Was it great? Once the Doctor vanishes, it's left to Millie as Ruby Sunday to unravel the mystery that stretches through. I missed that whole part. I'm sorry. In my recap, right? This how boring it was. When she's back in London, she turns to Unit for help, and she meets Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, and then they go and they grab the old lady, but then she talks to them, and they all run away. And then Kate listens to his thing through her earpiece, and she runs away too. Right? Okay, there you go. I missed that important plot detail. Snoozerama, man, it really was. Once the vanishes, fine. So it's up to once the Doctor vanishes, left to Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday to unravel the mystery that stretches through her whole life, morphing from a creepy dread in rural Wales, that's done well, to political thriller split between London and Cardiff. Made no sense whatsoever. And Nurim Bernard cut an impressive figure as the paranoid controlling populist Roger Ap Gwilym. Right? That somewhat is in the mold of Emma Thompson's Vivian Cook. Okay, it's Donald Trump. Fuck's sake. Oh, where's this original idea of a populist? Donald fucking Trump. And like, what's wrong with populism? You're elite as fuck. We can't let the unwashed masses think for themselves. Michelle Greenberg says Ruby's Von Carla was delightful, wittering about how men go and potter in their sheds, and Dimitri saying that was only Welsh people. And then she says, I've never been with a man, or something like, what? Who were scared of the mysterious woman, but on the delivery of a locked out Ruby, even your mother doesn't want you. She says, yeah, she was like, she won't talk to her. Eventually leaves a message, says, even your mother doesn't want you. Piss off. Right? Was conveyed with conviction and abandoned, and orphan children remain persistent theme of this run of Doctor Who. That's a fair point. That's definitely been a consistent theme. You had Church on Ruby Road about foundling, obviously. You had Space Babies, deserted children. You had Devil's Corner. How was that to do with abandoned? Oh, she was the orphan child of the Celestial Toy Maker, right? You had Boom, which was all about a abandoned child, and now Millie's the abandoned child again, right? So David's knack of writing side characters who managed to convey a lot with little dialogue was on display, with Sophie Ablett who gave her Marty the air of somebody haunted like Ruby, though in this case attention of Aquilian. Yes, so she at one point she said, yes, he is a monster. But like you never find out why, right? Like literally none of this is ever paid off. It goes nowhere. Regarding the title, does the time loop over the last 73 years? Oh, let me think. So it goes to 2042, and then it goes to 2082. So, man, let me do the math. 2082 minus 2024 equals 58. No, that would have been a good idea, though, wouldn't it? Although they never was very clear about it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Look, when I do a deep dive review, I might have more of an idea. I don't know. It was just boring. I mean, it's just it was kind of boring and nonsensical. Yeah. I think it's the best way of describing it. Highlight the episode was the impressive Welsh pub. Yeah, that was definitely the best part of the episode. Nighttime sequence, which veered between the hysterical laughter of local people pulling the leg of the gullible English tourist and the generally unnervous undercut menace when they talked about Mad Jack. Yeah, so William was Mad Jack, right? He said she saw him on TV say, "Yeah, my name was Mad Jack," and she know that was the monster let out by Shooting Gatwa stepping on the fairy circle of shit at the beginning, right? Which is when Billy Gibson showed up, or the old version of her showed up. All this was absolutely brilliant until the ending. No, not really. There didn't seem to be any logical explanation of how older Ruby was able to appear in a way to herself for decades or spring back in time at the crucial moment to prevent the timeline being created beyond some vague hand-waving, the supernatural. Mentioned along the way. Yeah, that's very true. It's a shame as it was shaping up to be a Stone Cold classic until older Ruby appeared in the final act forward. That's fair. Ruby Sunday saves the world from a Welsh nuclear megalomaniac after a lifetime of running away from herself. Okay, fine. Lifetime on the boards. There was this was the Lifetime aboard the TARDIS. This was a Doctor Light episode, a format introduced in 2006. Celeste and yes, well, they did 13 a year, and Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures. First and mostly unloved Love and Monsters. So much better than this. And more successful year later with Blink, with Carey Mulligan. So yeah, everybody loves Carey Mulligan. Then David Tennant showcased Midnight, and Catherine Tate's focused in Turn Left. Yeah, both those were excellent. During that David's penned episode, Donna lives through an alternate. But it doesn't say that there's an alternate lifetime with the Doctor ending up. But it's an interesting alternate lifetime, right? Where the Doctor ends up saving the day to reset death. But at least it's an interesting lifetime. This wasn't. 70 yards went from me, instantly recognizable folk horror, almost here with a woman first pursuing Ruby over the cliff tops. Though the sequence where Ruby saw everywhere that she looked at the train took it to a new level. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, no, the scares were good then. The scariest bit was the gradual hardening of Gemma Redgrave's face. And that's true. Yeah. That was a good piece of acting by Gemma. And I've always deeply disliked her Doctor Who. She was boring as hell. Right, well, there's a bit where, like, you know, she's, like, hearing what the old woman's saying, and she see her face harden to Ruby Sunday, right? And they say they have no idea who she, like, you're not who you think you're. I wish I knew what they said, but again, it's a good idea to tee something up, but you got to be able to pair it off, and you just didn't, right? And this is a great thing to tee up, and it just never paid it off. And she, I was going to say, I didn't find. Still going on. Mysteries and questions. Yeah. The obligate appearance of Susan Twist as a hiker in a 6 different character appearance in 7 episodes. Was she in Church on Ruby Road? I mean, she's obviously a big bad of some kind, but kind of who cares? Did finally spark some recognition. But since we were in an alternate timeline, who knows if Ruby will remember if the face shows up again. Deeper into the vortex. The theme of being cursed and your being cursed and your family offense turning against you was also explored in The Curse of Clyde Langer. Music played by Ruby discovered her purpose was Watch Me by Lab in 72. Okay, includes Watch Me When I'm on my own. I'm falling like that. What? Who cares? Telling me we got work to do. Echo Sylvester McCoy's coding line in. Well, this is dumb in Survival. No, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, it does, but wasn't done on purpose. The episode did not have an opening title. It was the first time since Sleep No More in 2015, which was the first time it happened during the regular series. It also didn't happen in the to feature any extraterrestrial alien except the Doctor and the TARDIS. Well, perhaps until we find out who Susan Twist and Anita Dobbs is. Yeah, Anita Dobbs pops up. Roger Alquillan became a UK Prime Minister whose career came to a Doctor Who-induced end. Although at least he escaped with his life, Harriet Jones and Joe Patterson both got exterminated by Daleks, while the Master was shot by his wife and refused to degenerate while posing as Harold Saxon. No, he wasn't posing. He was being Harold Saxon. The pub's name in Welsh is Y Bryn Mawr, translates to the Deadwood. And the scenes where it was filmed in the White Cross Inn were previously used for the occasion Torchwood. Yeah, a countryside probably. Gatwa's clifftop costume has come some criticism for the least Doctor. People are saying it's the most Doctor Who, isn't it? Least Doctor Who costume they've had for some time, and old habits die hard. But the Doctor has a history of beaners by the sea. Stop. Oh, stop being so smug and stupid. Stop. So look, that's my take on the episode. Boring. Think it was supposed to be political, and I think they re-edited it. I really think that they re-edited it. Now, before I go off, Disbrew had a really interesting take on Boom, right? And I'm not sure where I feel on it. He's very much reading into it, but maybe he's correct. It fits perfectly. He has a theory that the episode was a commentary on the dichotomy of faith. Now, the idea is, if this is correct, it's a much more clever episode than I thought it would be. But he thought it was an episode about the dichotomy of faith, that which is kind of represented in the episode. Like, he has a diatribe against faith, and then said, "Well, you got it, but you need it," right at the end. So again, this is Disbrew's take on it. He says that there are two different types of faith at war with each other. First is the traditional faith as represented by the Anglican military, right? And that the Doctor hates. Oh, faith, you're so stupid. You do this. You stupid, right? And then you have the faith that's developed by the little girl, right? Which is, and he says, that's the most beautiful, perfect faith ever, right? And that second type of faith is completely immutable and without basis or thought. And I think his point was, he's saying he's promoting that over traditionalist faith in a universal and objective good. And I think he might be reading into it, but boy, if Stephen Moffat was writing that, that's very impressive. And that he managed to do it so subtly. But I thought that was very interesting. I recommend heading over to that video. Anyway, I'm Cream Crackers, ladies and gentlemen. It's 11:15, so it's way past my bedtime. Time for me to have some cocoa and be tucked up warmly in bed. I'll be back tomorrow night to a deep dive review and have a look and see what's going on in the worlds of genre in general. Take the piss a bit. Look, we got a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot to talk about because what do you want me to tell you? We're in a shit show, baby. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it again. Say good night, good luck, and may your